Hi guys, welcome back to another episode. On today's episode, we're going to fit Duramax for the first time.
What, the car's already broken?
Alright, it's good on my knee. Is that alright?
Yeah.
Alright guys, so a bit of a quick update. I've just got in, Tommy's been working while I've been slaving it at work all day, so he's made a bit of progress for
You don't work?
No, I don't work apparently. I'm a pencil pusher.
Yeah.
So what he's done so far is prep the engine bay. We're getting ready to chop the engine mounts off. But before we did that, done a bit of remodeling to the firewall. So
Massaging.
yeah, massaging. So I'll give you guys a bit of a quick look at what that looks like, and then we're going to get into chopping these engine mounts off. So let's have a look at what this massaged firewall looks like. So as you can see, here we've got this sort of area of the firewall where the hydraulic jack was used to push in the firewall to allow room for the dump, as we talked about in the last episode. So we've got this sort of pressed in to a point where we think we can try and test fit the engine with the dump on it. Once we have a bit of an idea about the clearance, we can clean this up, massage it into a bit of a nicer shape, clean it up, and then if we need to do a bit more massaging, we'll do that. But we've sort of prepped it to give us a starting point, and then we'll work from there. So let's get into chopping these engine mounts.
Fuck up. Look at that. Bye.
Yeah, no, we're pretty stoked though. Both engine mounts are chopped off, so definitely no going back now. She's all happening, so okay.
Oh. It's very sweaty. It's in my eyes, this thing.
Hey. How you doing? Alright guys, so we've sort of reached the point now where we're sort of going to get ourselves prepared to put Duramax in for the first time. So both engine mounts are chopped out now. That was pretty exciting because after doing that, you're definitely not going back. So Tommy's fully committed to doing this, and he's ready to go. So as you can see, got engine mount 1 and engine mount 2 all chopped, gone. Catch you later. And
Just gotta grind back the chassis now and get the paint off it.
yeah,
And
so
make it flush, so it's all good for the new ones going.
yeah, so we'll get that prep done, but we have a bit of a break now. It's been pretty hot up in the shed, so we'll be back soon and we'll cut to that and let's get going.
Alright, so as we did yesterday, we got rid of, well, I did yesterday I should say, got rid of the TD42 mounts. I've prepped the chassis, both sides, so I can weld in the new chassis posts for the Duramax. So that one's going to go there like such, just roughly. And then we've got the right hand side as well, which is going to go something along those lines right there. So let's all go. We'll bolt them up to the motor when we go to put it in for the first time. But I've got a there's a support rib just in the tunnel there. It's just a tiniest bit too small, so I've got to just push it out a little bit, because on the Auto you've got these covers, these like inspection hatches kind of thing on each side, and they're just going to hit with how high the motor will sit in there. So we need clearance, more so for engineering than anything, and also peace of mind. Then looks like we can lift it up and put it on trestles, and I'll put the new thump on, and then probably slide it in for the first time, and hopefully get it sitting in the right spot, and yeah, get keen. I reckon it'll be very exciting. Very, very exciting moment. So got the engine mounts all bolted in, pretty beefy. And what they do is, on the left hand side here, is the bush in there is actually a radius arm bush out of a Nissan Patrol front radius arm. So I put that in there because this is left hand side, so it's going to really torque up. That really takes a lot of the torque out of it. And then we got the right hand side as well. They use an 80 series style, well, they just use an 80 series rubber engine mount in there. So this is going to be sitting down, so when the motor torques over, it's going to be compressing down on that one, which is the whole idea behind it. Nice and easy, straightforward to put on. It's going to be, yeah, it should be straightforward to put in. I've loosely fitted this one so you can still move it. So when we put it in the car, we'll push the motor all the way over the left hand side, G-clamp that to the chassis, then we'll just tack it on there, and then we'll pull this one out till it butts up against the chassis, clamp it in, and then tack weld it in, and then unbolt it and lift her out. Just about to start doing the sump. You gotta undo this rear pan first, because there's some socket head cap screws actually on the inside that you gotta undo. So you gotta drop that pan off it. I've just got it draining just in case there's a little bit left in there. Knowing my luck, there will be. There will be plenty down in here, I reckon. So just get out as much as I can, and then yeah, start putting the new sump on.
Like anything, so I've come out on the weekend, now Sunday, to give Tom a hand, and he sent me a message last night, and goes, yeah, I'm going to be taking the auto off. And I was like, what do you mean you're taking the auto off? So to change the sump, there's 2 bolts that are behind where your auto transmission sits in your flex plate. So I'll show you where those are. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to get the sump changed over. But bit of effort just to get these 2 little bolts. So we'll show you where they are.
That one there.
Number 1.
And that one there.
Number 2. So you've got to remove
all the flex plate.
Auto torque converter.
Whole thing. I did not read a thing about it, about having to remove the auto to take the sump off. So yeah, don't know what's going on there, but doesn't matter, it's all done now.
Yeah, so once we get that done, it'll be alright. But so yeah, it's a bit of a mission just to get 2 bolts just so you can take your sump off. So
big learning curve.
Yeah. Once we take it off, we'll have a bit more of an understanding how they've got it set up. We've got a bit of an idea, but we'll take it off and then we'll see what the go is. So let's do that. Alright guys, so a quick update. We managed to get the sump off, but we've had to put it back on. We've removed the oil pickup, as you can see, and we've got our new sump, but when we went to test fit it, the pickup and the new sump don't quite work out, so there's going to have to be some modifications made. It's probably going to happen tomorrow, not today, but do a bit of planning for tomorrow. Bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. And we'll get these modifications sorted out, and then we'll get back on track hopefully. But it's just the small things of learning to do an engine conversion where some of the things are a bit unexpected. So we're going to call it for the day and try and come up with some ideas for tomorrow. I'll probably miss a bit of tomorrow while I'm working, but I'll get a bit done tomorrow anyway, and we'll get back to it. So we'll see you then.
Gonna go for a test fit, or a well, test set number 2 actually. I've already tried it, but I had a fuel line away, so got it back on the pallet. It was just easier to access and get rid of the fuel and brake line without the motor in there, so done that. So yeah, time to sling it back up and yeah, get it wedged in there and that'll be a fit. Should be good.
So, motor's in. What do you reckon, mate?
Yeah, it's a bit tall, but that's just the mounts. But they, yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy it's in.
Yeah, bloody stoked. We had a bit of drama with the auto the other day. I was going to do an update on it, but I thought, I'll just talk about it now. So, we had a bit of drama getting the auto to slide on the last about 15 mil. Found out there was a bit of an alignment issue with one of the keys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the oil pump key for the
yeah, and goes to the
auto.
Yeah. So Tommy sorted that out this morning, and then got cracking and got this thing in when I rocked up. So we're going to go now, and we'll bolt up the trans down the bottom. So then this is sitting where it's supposed to be, and we'll go from there. So let's get into that.
I did a bit of digging about the info, and I wanted to find out a bit more why, because Marks state that it says recommend that you use a ZD30 cross member and tail shafts and low range selector. So I did a bit of digging about it, and I finally found out that if you use like a TD or a TV cross member and transfer, that the motor actually sits 15 mil forward. So the only problem with that will be my bonnet clearance, but I sort of think that works in my favour when it comes to the firewall and all that. So, should be good.
Yeah, so we'll get all that done and we'll find out where we're at then. So let's do that, and then we'll get a bit more of an understanding of what we've got to do, and we'll update you from there. So let's get into it. So now we've got the engine down. Pretty much in the position where it's going to be sitting now that we've done that transmission cross member. So we've lowered it down completely on its own weight now, not supported by the crane. So we'll have a look. We've got the engine mounts sitting on the chassis where they relatively should be. There's a couple of things which we think we're going to have to play around with, but we'll have a look, and we probably won't tack them in at the moment. We'll see how we go. But so this is on the passenger side. We've got this cross member here. Oh, cross member.
Engine mount.
Engine mount in here. We've got a little bit of clearance on this side here between the vertical and the chassis rail. So we'll have to have a look at that.
We need to fix that up before we start tacking the mounts in.
So this is a bit of a look at what it looks like from the underside, where you can see this is our fixture to the chassis rail, and then you've got a bush component here that it joins onto, and you can sort of see on the back here that up here we've got a bit of a gap against that chassis rail. And if we want to have a look at the other side, on the driver's side, this one looks pretty good, so we'll go underneath the car and have a quick look. So this one's just sitting here now. We've got a couple of clamps on it. That all looks really good at the moment, so that sits there nicely. We'll sort that out though once we've got the other side sorted out, so we know where we're at. But this engine mount's come up really good and sits in the engine bay real nicely. So see how we go, and then we'll get that done later on. Alright guys, so now that the engine's in, the main thing that we need to focus on down here was getting the gearbox and the transfer case bolted up, so we had something solid to position the engine where it was going to be. So we did our best to bolt up the gearbox cross member, and we've done that. So I'll show you how it's gone, and it's gone really well, which is good. So we've got factory location on the chassis rails here and over on the other side, and then you've got your two mounts on the cross member that bolt up to the Marks adapter kit. So that's worked really well, and that went together really easy. So that's all pretty sweet. And then now we're going to go up, try and position the engine in a better spot to get the engine mount set, and then we'll look at trying to set up, finishing, or attacking together probably the engine mounts, checking the dump, and we'll go from there. So I think that's the plan of attack, so let's do that and we'll see how we go. The last thing we're going to do for the moment is test fit the dump. So we'll grab the dump, we'll put her in and see if it works, and then we're going to see how that firewall looks. So we'll grab the dump and we'll go from there.
Better truth.
Yeah.
See if I can do this firewall enough. No. Gonna have to hit it in. Just a bit up the top. Apart from that, I could have fit a 4-inch dump in there if I wanted to.
Yeah. I guess by the time though you get that radius out a bit further.
Might do it. Yeah. I'm being serious.
I know you're being serious.
Oh no, it goes in. Dickhead me. I might make a 4-inch dump for this, I reckon. Yeah.
Not too bad. So we've got the dump in now. We'll have a quick look, and pretty happy with how it's come up. Tommy's done a good job of sort of working out where it needed to be when we tacked it up on the ground. So you can see we've just put on the V-band here, and you can see it comes down around the firewall, down inside the transmission, and then from there it'll kick towards the back. So this is all fitted really nicely. We've got plenty of clearance here to the firewall, and it's pretty snug down the bottom here, but will work just fine. So pretty happy with that. I think that's probably going to be the most of it for this afternoon, and we'll get back to it